All right. So today's a big day. Big day. The many saints of Newark. Hey, good morning, Nimra. The many saints of Newark. If you're a Sopranos fan, you got to be interested in that movie. Now, the funny thing about The Sopranos is everybody always says The Sopranos was the first major television series that was like really high quality, like a movie, etc., etc. The sound's not good. Maybe I'll change my headset. It should. I'm using the same headset as before. Give me 1 second, folks. We're early. I'll change my headset. Hang on. David, you're hearing it? How about everybody else? How's the sound before I go crazy? Chantal, can you turn your sound up? Chantal, just for you. I'll be right back in 1 second. Okay, let me know if it's better or if it's just fine. Make sure it's fine for everybody. We're going to get started in 10 seconds. How's that, Chantal? Is that better for you? Okay, everybody else good? Okay, all right, different headset. I only have about 40 headsets, so welcome to the 10-Minute Trades Trade Room, Final Manufacturing, ISM Manufacturing. So there's actually 2 events. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember that all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It's possible to lose money trading futures. Trade carefully, please. So we are here. These are the last 2 events of the week. Last 2 events of the week. And we'll talk about these reports. Let me put the news up. The first event is one of my personal reports that I have been watching over the years, and it really just hasn't been working. But I still have the trade room because we have ISM, and this particular report always trades before ISM manufacturing. So there's this there's this report called Final Manufacturing. 99% of the time it trades right before ISM manufacturing, which is a major report, okay? It's a major report that used to be really impactful, and it's really been almost impossible to trade lately. We've tried every instrument, every way to trade it, trap trades, breakout trades, every way under the sun, and it's been completely unreliable. It just inconsistent. So it is what it is. I'd much rather end the week on a whole bunch of fantastic live trades. But, if you have reports that just aren't cutting it, then you got to spend the time learning rather than losing. People made money yesterday. People made money Tuesday. So it's, you know, if you've been trading the money trades, you should be doing just fine. Now, something very interesting is also going on today that I've never seen before with the ISM manufacturing report. It's trading with revised University of Michigan, revised, not the major University of Michigan report, but Michigan is an inflation report, and that could create definitely an impact that we don't expect. So there's definite extra risk today in the ISM report, in my opinion. And so what does that mean? You've got a report that has extra risk that hasn't been trading well. So it's certainly not, I mean, I'm not going to end my week ruining my week after a phenomenal day yesterday. I mean, we had great educational trade rooms in the morning. We had a great trade late morning. There's no reason to throw money away on reports that aren't working. You got to test them. You've got to test them. So I've got different setups. Gold has not been working well on final manufacturing or manufacturing PMI. You can call it final manufacturing, whatever you want to call it. So I've got an NQ setup I want to try on this particular report. I don't know how great it's going to be or how mediocre it's going to be. I don't think that anybody should trade this report live. This is untested, and I'm not, I'm telling you that I'm not recommending that you trade your real money on it because it's a report that has not been functioning properly. So better off learning, watching, talking, whatever. It's not a report to spend and lose money on. So be wise. I know that a lot of you trade my testing, but this is testing that hasn't been tested yet. So it's different than trading my testing. You follow me? This is testing that hasn't been done yet. I've looked and I think I have a possible setup, but not anywhere ready for prime time on this setup. So please don't lose your money on it. The way that I'm going to set it up is I'm going to use a bracket of 10 on the NQ, and I'm going to use a target of 6 and a target of 14, 114, and a stop of 15 on the NQ, and my entry time is going to be 9:44:59, and I might change that to 9:45. I want to think about it for a second. And this trade is final manufacturing. That's actually the correct name of it, final manufacturing PMI. I had been testing it over the years on gold, and it just hasn't had a good response on gold. It's been very disappointing, very disappointing. So, I mean, you can set up a gold test if you want to. If I were going to set up a gold test on it, we're finding that, especially this time of the morning, I would use a bracket of 7, and I would not look for I wouldn't look for big targets initially. Again, this is testing, not recommending that you trade these today because of behavior. If we had great behavior, we trade them. But these reports, I just need to do more work on these reports. So we'll also test it at 59. I'm using a target of 4, target of 10. So profit 1 is 4, profit 2 is 10. This is a testing of the testing. That's right, Mark. It's preliminary. Let's call it preliminary testing. How about that? Preliminary testing. I'm entering at 944.59. And, you know, it's all about being smart. I mean, it's just so simple. It's all about being smart. Now, for people that we invited a lot of people into our room this week, we have not done any selling whatsoever. I want to let everybody know that, and a lot of people saw our trades this week. We made money on the API. We made a ton of money. We made $2,000 yesterday in 1 second on the grain report. The previous grain report, we made $1,300 on the previous grain report, and we want to let everybody have the opportunity to come back and take advantage of our last sale. I'm telling you now, my boss, he is going to raise prices after, if not before Christmas, if not right at the new year. This is an opportunity to get into our system cheap. And these cheap prices, I'm telling you, they're not going to last. No joke. I hope I have the right. Let me make sure that I have the right link. But for $2.99, you can get 3 months of everything. Software, DMMs, and trade room. Now, if you already are a member, we'll always just add it to your existing subscription. So for members, this is a pretty awesome way to extend your time for inexpensive, because like I said, I know that my boss is going to raise prices next, if not next year, before the holidays. So this is a great time to take advantage of what we're doing. www.familymoneytrades.com, www.familymoneytrades.com. $2.99 for 3 months. It's ridiculous. You paid for like 4 years. Yes, some people paid for 3 years of the report of all our stuff yesterday. And like I said, we will add, if you're a member, we'll add the time. So you're not being penalized in any way. Okay? Anyway, that's the selling I'm going to do. So that's it. Now we're going to talk about the trades. So final manufacturing, why is it a report that maybe the markets look at? Because it's a manufacturing report, and markets like manufacturing data. There's just no way around it. Now, there's a lot of news. We're not on ISM yet, so we can do this. We can shrink our news so we can see the chart better. Let me just make sure that I've got everything in here that I want to see. And we'll check our sync real quick. We've got 5 minutes. I love Fridays. Next Friday, I love Jobs Friday. I love when we have like a giant, huge money trade on a Friday. Obviously, I hate if it doesn't work, because then it's not fun over the weekend. When a Friday trade is awesome, you take it into the weekend, and it just makes the weekend so enjoyable, doesn't it? So nice to have an awesome winner on a Friday. Let's check our time sync, and the jobs reports have been trading really well. My time sync has been terrible all week. All week. So let me get my dimension 4 going. It's going to take me a minute. And then 10 o'clock, we have ISM. I may try it with micro gold on a trap trade, but I've got the wrong version of the new trap trade on my computer, so I'm going to use the old version. And I'm a little worried that I put the wrong version of I have new versions that I'm testing on the trap trade. If you have version 3, do me a favor, don't trade it live today. Do not trade version 3 of the Trap Trade Live today. I need to post. I'm testing a new version and I want to get it posted. If you have version 2 and you want to, you can practice with version 3, but don't use live money, okay? Don't use live money on version 3. I'm just a little bit concerned I put the wrong version up online. I don't think I did. I think I inadvertently loaded the wrong one on my machine when I was doing some testing. But I'm going to use version 2 because I saw that I had a bug in this version I was using, and I was speaking with our programmer. He was yelling at me for using by accident an old version. So I don't want anybody to have any issues because of me. All right, dimension 4. I want to get my computer in sync. I don't have a lot of time. So I just pressed the sync now button, dimension 4. Should be syncing my computer. I just barely have enough time to test it by going to time.is. Bingo, I'm in sync. Okay. So I've got a gold test going on the right. I've got an NQ test with a bracket of 10 on the left. The NQ, this time of day, this is the last time of day I would consider. I wouldn't trade the NQ on a news report at 10 o'clock. 9:45, you've got volatility on the NQ from the open, but it's an okay time to trade a report that the market is interested in, but I wouldn't trade the ISM report on the NQ, unfortunately, not at 10 o'clock. There's been good movement on the ISM report on the NQ, but I believe it's because there's good movement on the NQ at 10 o'clock. Test the version should be in the file name. It should be in the file name. There should be a number. But there's a new trap trade coming out. Oh, I hate that. I made my bracket so darn small. So the NQ worked like instantaneously, though. Instantaneously. It just went in one direction very quickly on the news. But if you think about it, the news was positive. The NQ just popped down to the wrong side. Gold, no response, right? There's no trade on gold. It's 30 seconds. I don't want to trade it after 30 seconds and no move, especially when the offset is tiny. Tiny offset, okay? The NQ, very strange little move. The brackets were tiny, which doesn't really matter. We know what the bracket size was. We used a bracket of 10, okay? We used a bracket of 10, and it went through my targets, both of them right away. So possibly the NQ might be an interesting little setup that I'll start to look at on final manufacturing. I'd love to see a setup that works. I would love it. So let me Hey, folks, there's really something wrong with me. I'm talking and talking and talking and talking and not even realizing there's no room. And look at what's going on. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to get this. I profusely apologize. I was talking for 5 minutes, not realizing I had shut the trade room. Forgive me. I do it enough that I shouldn't do it, but it just happens. Sometimes I'll just close the browser when I'm thinking the whole browser isn't connected to the trade room. So I apologize. So I'm setting up a trap trade on ISM. I'm going to use brackets, tiers of 8, and I'm using trap trade version 2. I don't want anybody trading using trap trade version 3. No live trading using trap trade version 3. Entry time is 10 o'clock, but prep time is 10 seconds. I'm setting up the trade 10 seconds prior. I'm using a 17 and 18 tick stop. My tiers, make sure that your stop loss position does not say average price, but it says last fill price. Price at the time is the bracket center. Everything else, make sure position size 2 is a 1. Position size 2 is a 1. Let me go from the top. Contraction is not in the program anymore in the new version. Bracket center, price at the time. And this is trap trade version 2 I'm using today. Position size 1 is a 1. Position size 2, it should be a 1. Average price bars is default at 10. Stop loss position should be last fill price. Tier 1 is 8. Tier 2 is 18. Entry time is 10 o'clock. Order prep is 10. That's when my orders actually go on the chart. I'm going to trade the trap trade live in micro gold because it's not a whole heck of a lot of risk. You could lose $30, $40, but it's a good test because we need something to work on ISM. Okay? We need something to work. Gold trap trade is the only thing that we tested that seemed to have hope because the NQ, while yes, it moves, it always moves at 10 o'clock and it may be moving due to non-news reasons, okay? So it's important to realize that. So I'm willing to risk a couple of bucks to see if we can get a real trade, real report working, and then we'll convert it over to real bigger money if we can get a couple of trap trades working properly. Let's test the sync, and I'll be happy to answer a couple of questions after this trade. So my time sync is in sync, which is good. All right. Time sync is in sync. It's Friday. I love Fridays. It's been a good week. Anytime members make a whole bunch of money is a good week. And we started Tuesday with the oil report. Few folks struggled on the Wednesday oil report, but a couple of people made money on final GDP. Definitely doing a lot of looking to add reports. And in the background, folks, I can tell you that so many exciting things are going on at this company. We are doing a tremendous amount of investing in the company. I highly recommend that you take advantage of the last sale that we just reopened for the weekend. FamilyMoneyTrades.com. For $2.99, you can lengthen your service. We'll just add everything to your current subscription. These prices, I'm telling you, my boss is raising them. He's going to raise the prices. We've always been the most inexpensive trading mentor out there. you know, my buddy at Rightline, it's $1,000 just to blink, just for the software, just for the software. It's really 1997, and I love his software. I love his software. It's a whole different system. There's a lot of systems out there that work. We're not the only one, but our prices are tremendously reasonable. So we got 45 seconds. So we're testing the trap trade on MGC. And let me make sure I put my I'm such a dope. I didn't. Yes. Oh, no, I'm okay. I put my prep in. We should be good. We should be good. If I did it wrong, I'm not going to cry. I'm tired. It's been a long week. I should see orders right about now if I did it right. Okay, beautiful. So these are real orders. It filled me early, which you really don't like. In other words, you don't want to be filled early. Look at Microgold acting crazy. And it made me $52. The trade's over. We're going to watch that video because that was everything that you don't expect to happen. Real gold looked like it had a pretty awesome move also. What a crazy way to end the week. We made an extra $50 on Microgold being crazy. Now, I want somebody out there, tell me the truth. Who out there traded Microgold with me? Who out there traded Microgold with me live? Tell me the truth. I'm not going to yell at you, but I want to know if anybody did it. Did anybody do it? Because did you see the way Microgold acted? It acted as if there was no liquidity. The orders just were all over the place, all over the place. Nobody's talking. Nobody traded. Truth, not one person traded with me. Test, you did it in Sim, okay. Test did it in Sim. The news was, you know, let's see what the news was. So ISM, very good news, very good news. And you had University of Michigan. Inflation, not that bad, just up a tiny bit, not a gigantic increase. Consumer sentiment, up a little bit, up a little bit. And inflation expectations actually down a little bit. So I would say we had a very good report. It initially moved in the wrong direction, okay? It filled us up, but on the breakout, it looks like it filled in the right direction. So let's take a look at the video. Let's take a look at the video. We got filled short on our breakout, and it worked beautifully because I looked over and the trade was over before I even noticed. It hit both targets, okay? It hit both targets. So let's look at the video. Let's look at the video. And don't ever be upset that you took the trade in Sim and you feel like you did the wrong thing because you didn't make money. This was a trade that it was a test of a report that hasn't been working. And if you look at the DMM, the DMM does not give you any confidence that these reports were worth putting money on. Okay, so you don't want to feel bad that you traded in Sim. But what we're learning is that maybe the bracket is coming back. Maybe. Not strong enough evidence yet. The trap trade was just a mess of total chaos, possibly because we used micro gold, which doesn't have very good liquidity. And let's look at the video. You could see what I mean about micro gold. The trade was just all over the place, all over the place. And it filled early. So we want to go to a 5-second prep. We had a 10-second prep, okay? We don't want to put our orders on the chart until 5 seconds before the report. 10 seconds was too early. It filled before the news. With a trap trade, if it fills before the news, you might as well just stay in the trade, because the trap trade's a reversal trade and you have an opportunity to make money even though you got filled early, because you're going to get movements up and down on this report because of its inconsistency over the months. So you don't have to panic if you get filled early in this trade. And that's exactly what happened to us. And you notice I didn't panic. I could have closed out the trade, but it was also moving so fast, I don't know that I would have been able to do anything anyway, which sometimes happens. So watch the left side. The left side is the trap trade. My orders are going to show up 10 seconds before the news. That's order prep, said 10 seconds. Watch. My orders are going to show up right here. The trap trade concept is you have an arrow for current price. When price goes up, you're selling. When price goes down, you're buying. Okay? The trap trade is a reversal trade. What happened was there was a big volatility burst 7 seconds before the news. It filled me long. And then look at that whipping around. That's low liquidity whipping. That's low liquidity whipping. Took me out of the trade with a quick $52 profit. It's the kind of movement you want in a trap trade, right? Think about it. What do we want to happen? We want to get filled and we want a reversal. And that's exactly what it did. It filled and it reversed multiple times, enough to get us out of the trade, hit our profits, and give us some extra ticks also. We definitely got some extra ticks. Watch it one more time on the left. We got filled early. It did a quick reversal. Watch. Bingo, double, triple, quadruple reversal almost. And we were out of the trade with a profit. $52. I'll take 52 bucks any day. $52 every day is $250 a week. It's $1,000 a month, maybe a little more. It pays many people's mortgages or a fantastic car payment. Let's look at the left side of the market, the right side of the market for the breakout. We tested the DMM exactly. We used a bracket of 6, okay? A bracket of 6. Watch the bracket. And it was very fast. Okay, there's our bracket. Our current price at the time of the orders getting on the chart was 58 even. So our order to get pulled in the market was 58.60 or 57.40 on the downside. We don't care what direction. We don't care. All we care about is give us a move in one steady direction. That's what we want. The news was out and it was pretty. No, we didn't see it. I have to expand the news. That was the previous report. Boom, an excellent breakout, perfect breakout trade, goes through both targets. Now that was pretty fast. In real life, you might not have hit both targets. You might have hit the target one because there could have been slippage on a move that fast. It's possible. So you want to just go into it with your eyes open. I think you probably would have hit both your targets. As long as you weren't greedy on your targets. My targets were not greedy. I think I only used a target of 10. If we double check it, I used a target of 10. I'm positive. You know, we can check it by looking at the video because I took the software off. If we look at the video, it's the one last thing I want to check. ISM. Let's see what our target was, 100%. So if you've removed your software, how do you tell what the target is? If your chart is clear and you can see, move to where you get entered. This trade was pretty darn fast, so it's a little tricky. Move to where you get entered. Try to stop the video. You can see how it's so fast. It's a balancing act. I'm trying to hit it. Trying to get it here. I want to use software. I want to change my software to software that has slow motion. Does Camtasia have slow motion? Okay. Let's see if we can tell where our targets were. So our entry was 40. Our entry was 40. Entry was 40. 1757.40. So I had one target at 10 and one target. I think I was going for a target of, oh, you know what, folks? We used the DMM. We used the DMM. So my targets on ISM manufacturing were 8. We used 8 and 15. 8 and 15. So it shot right through them, and it would have been a really excellent trade today. Excellent trade with a breakout. The trap trade also looks like it's a viable alternative. So you understand why this is tricky? Because we've got multiple reports, multiple effects, or multiple reactions, I should say. Multiple reactions, multiple setups that both worked. I always like to opt for the breakout trade, but if you think about it, sometimes a trap trade will give you a much stronger profit. Trap trades offer higher profits. So if you can get a steady, reliable trap trade that's working, it's an excellent trade to take. So I'm going to continue looking at the trap trade on ISM, and also we'll look at the breakout. You can trade both using two different indexes, one micro and one major, but I would not trade the micro on the breakout because it's not reliable movement, whereas with the trap trade, even with crazy movement, you can get a profit. So what's our lesson from today? Final manufacturing, still a report that is looking for a setup. ISM manufacturing, we've got two potential gold setups that have possibilities. So we'll continue to test and we'll continue to see if we can get these reports working better. Any questions, folks? It's another week in the can. It's been overall a pretty good week. A lot of learning this week. You know what we didn't do this week? I didn't look at the oil setup. If you all want to spend 1 minute, if you want to spend 4 minutes in the room, let's test the oil setup that we taught yesterday. It'll take a minute to download the data and see what happened on the oil setup. So let me download today's oil. It's October 1st. Hard to believe, isn't it? October 1st, oil contract CL11, right? 1121. I download the data, takes a second. It's downloaded. Now I disconnect my live connection and I connect market playback. And then I'll put my chart on oil, CL1121. My chart's on oil. I don't care about the right chart. I'll put the date on 10-1. All right. On both those boxes, 10-1. 10-1. In the blank spot, I right click. Go to will give me the choice. And then I put the time in of the oil open. I'm going to put in 8:59:54, 6 seconds before the oil open. Okay, so I can get prepared for the trade. 8:59:54. Okay it. Now, sometimes Ninja has a bug when you try the replay. it'll set the time back to 12 a.m. See? So now all you have to do is just reset the time, right click in the blank space, and just put the time in of 8:59:54, and then we'll set up the trade. And now we can replay it in about a minute from now. 8:59:54. My charts are on oil. Now I'm going to enter my oil test trade that we taught yesterday. I created a template, right? So all I got to do is load the software into the software platform. I have a template called Oil Open. Load the template. Slide over to Oil Open. I have it dated, so I know it's the right one. I'm now ready. My bracket is 5. I'm testing 2 contracts. My first target is 5 ticks. I think it should be a 10 tick second target. Let's make that change and save it. And the reason is because I know yesterday it's a safer amount of movement to trade. It's definitely a safer amount of movement to trade. So I'm overwriting the template. Target of 5, target of 10, stop of 12, entry time 9 o'clock. It's already programmed in. It's a breakout trade. We're ready to test. The oil open has worked 2 days in a row. It's a brand new test. Let's see what happens. Let me record it so I can add it to our file. Start the recording. Here we go. Oil open. Data's moving. Filled a short. Is there going to be a follow through? Hits the first target. Shrink that stop with oil. It's it's going to hit that target. Target 2 looks pretty good. Bingo. Okay. I'm liking this oil open. That's 3 in a row. Wednesday doesn't count. Why doesn't Wednesday count? Because Wednesday was the day of the oil report. And it was a choppier open. So let's look at the video one time. CL open, October 1st. Looks like it's got some progress, some possibility, I mean. Pretty excited. It's looking like an interesting trade. Let's look at the video. But this is how you find trades. Test. Find a time that you like an index, right? What do you like to do? You like to trade the bonds open? Set up a setup at 8:20. Set up a bracket trade. Set up a range trade, a 2-minute range or a 5-minute range before the open. Think a little bit creatively. Look at this move. No pressure. We got filled. It followed through. It stayed down. It hit your second target, all in a matter of 19 seconds. That's a very promising test, okay? We have a very promising oil open test. I'm excited about it. If you want to learn the setup, that oil test is on our YouTube channel. So you can sign up for our YouTube channel, have access to all the videos, and you can download that oil trade room that teaches you how to do that setup, okay? Final question as we end on a nice note, a goofy $52 profit win today. A breakout that would have been great, okay? We're always learning. It's okay if you didn't trade live. It's perfectly fine. We're learning that ISM may be a breakout. There hasn't been quite enough to give us 100% confidence yet. Any questions? Any questions? It's Friday. You want to see next week's schedule real quick? Next week's schedule. It's already done. Let's see what we got here. Next week, Monday, nothing going on, which is what we're seeing on Mondays. There's nothing going on these days on Monday. Tuesday, we got final services and ISM non-manufacturing is what it used to be called. It's now called ISM services. It's like the sister report to today's ISM manufacturing. Maybe we'll trade the breakout. Maybe we'll give it a shot, okay? API, family money on Tuesday, and we're going to have a late room on Tuesday. We're going to trade the New Zealand bank statement live, okay? New Zealand bank statement live. Yes, Jeff, it's in the YouTube channel. Jeff, if you have any problem and you can't find it, send me an email at help@10minutetrades.com. I'll send it to you. Wednesday, we got the ADP report, one of my all-time favorite reports. I want to give you a heads up. We might be changing the instrument just for the trade room. Just for the trade room. Chantal, are you here? Greg, it's called the Oil Open. And Greg, you can also email me, help@10minutetrades.com. If you can't find it, I will happily send the link. Hey, folks, let me make your life easy. Hang loose. Let me give you the link right now. I want you to sign up for our YouTube channel. It helps us. Help me to help you, right? If you help me, I want to help you even more, if you can imagine. If you sign up for our YouTube channel, it helps us to get more and more people able to find us, okay? People can find us. Let me find this link. I'll give you the link. But I work so hard, like to create these videos and to post them, and I have to render them. And if you all will sign up for the channel, oh man, it really, really helps me. All right, I got the link. Give me a second. All right, I've done this trivia test before. I'm going to give you a trivia test. There's a crazy movie. David, you cannot answer. David from California cannot answer. I got the power. I got the power. It's a big part of the movie. At the end of the movie, the star is wasted on cocaine in a recording studio trying to make money with a song. I got the power. What's the name of the movie? What's the name of the movie? I'm looking for the Oil Open lesson. I got it. I got the power. I'll give you a hint. The actor is a Wahlberg, not Scarface. Good guess, though. The actor is a Wahlberg. Oil Open lesson. There's the video. Okay? There's the video. I got the power. I got the power. Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights. An actually great movie. Great movie. So Tuesday, we're going to have an 8:30 p.m. trade room for New Zealand. Wednesday, like I was saying, ADP family money. I'm looking at bonds and the NQ on that report. Chantal, this is a test I need you to do ASAP to help me. Bonds and the NQ. I think they're moving, and the ES. Maybe we can split the testing. Thursday, unemployment claims. I'm going to try trading it, I think. I think it's moving again. And we're going to go into the natural gas room 10 minutes early to do a super fast test of Canada Ivy. Canada Ivy. I don't think it moves yet, but I think one day it's going to start to move. And then Friday, I'm trading two reports at the same time. They're both family money trades. When Canada Jobs trades with U.S. Jobs, it's 100% a family money trade. I think it's a family money trade anyway. My boss does not think it's a family money trade. There's no DMM. come in the trade room. I'll show you how to trade it. If you're an expert, you can trade both at the same time. Otherwise, you can make a decision to trade just Canada if you want lower risk, or you could trade US jobs if you want a little bit more volatility. Okay? Jeff, let me see. Jeff, let me post. Here's the link anyway. Here's the link anyway. See if you can search for oil open, Jeff, and if you can see it that way. If you could see it that way. You did, and it's not there. Don't leave yet. You know what? I have to go. If you can't, you got the link right here. So don't sweat it for now. There's the link. I'll see everybody next week. Have an awesome weekend, everybody. Enjoy your profits from this week, and I'll see everybody next week. Have a great weekend, and I'll see everybody soon. Okay?